गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी। बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवारी सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनि बेको रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहीं श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कबि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपत दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाहि, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त कीर्तन धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंधि महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होवे सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तने संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान। In the last session, we heard the story of Yayati, right? And how disappointed he was when he lost his youth. But that is not only about Yayati, isn't it? We all do not want to lose our youth. Life is precious, isn't it? We want to remain young, healthy. That's very good. There's nothing wrong in it. But Yayati wanted all this to enjoy pleasures, sense pleasures, to fulfill his wants. But he later realized that wants are never ending. Wants can never end. And the Lord has actually made enough for everybody's need, but there is not enough for man's greed. And that is what we see around us right now. All the disparity, inequality that we see around us is because of that greed. That very greed is destroying the planet bit by bit by bit. More industries, more money. Everybody wants to become richer and richer and richer. More material benefits. We also discussed that we are moving away from nature. We are but a part of nature, yet gradually and steadily we are disconnecting. We are disconnecting and destroying the very source of life for us. It is like a man who's sitting on the tree, right? On the branch, and he's cutting the very branch he's sitting on. You'll call him silly, isn't it? Totally silly. But that is what we all are. We are cutting the very branch we are sitting on. Why are we cutting that branch? Because we want more. We want things for ourselves. We don't realize that slowly and gradually we are reaching the end of our existence. Now over here, Yayati thought that extra year of life, he took the age from Puru and he lived his life, right? But later on he got disgusted. He realized that no matter how much oil you pour on the fire is going to blaze further. It's going to become bigger and bigger. This is known as Trishna, thirst of desires. It is like an unending pit. The more you put in it, the more it wants because it never gets filled. And when Yayati realized this, he returned Puru, his youth, and he crowned Puru the king. He was a just king. Just imagine the kind of heart that Puru had to give away his youth to his father without thinking. And he took to himself all the suffering that comes with old age. Yes, old age brings a lot of hardships, mentally, emotionally, physically. Dependence and insecurity also comes. And you know what happens in old age? In old age, the respect that one commands also diminishes. When a man is earning or is of utility, they get respect. But just imagine when that same person is not earning anymore, is unable to fend for his family. Somebody else has taken that responsibility. What happens to his respect? It diminishes. So in a way, the so-called love, again, why I'm saying so-called love? Because true love is a very high thing. It is not equivalent to attachment. So the so-called love vanishes and the respect also diminishes. That is, utility goes down, everything else goes down. And this is the hard reality. And this is what Puru accepted. We saw, right? Puru was found in a corner in his room, and his bodily suffering was very bad. In fact, he was crying in agony when Yayati saw him, isn't it? The knees hurt, the head hurts, the back hurts. And because of disrespect, the heart hurts. Don't do this. All of us one day are going to age. Let's make old age precious. Let's respect and love our old. They need us more than ever. And remember, these very people were there for us when we were children and babies. They taught us how to walk and talk. And now they need us. The least we can do is show respect. The least we can do is understand and try to look at the world from their perspective. And the least we can do is to know just because they age, that does not mean that desires diminish. Desires don't diminish with age. It requires effort. And if they don't go away when you are young, it is very difficult to part with them when one gets old. Right? So now, Puru gave again. Yayati returned his youth, and now Puru started ruling. Puru was a just ruler, as I just said. And the lineage, that is the descendants that came after him, were also very divine. Why such divinity in this lineage? When you will say that there was a person like Yayati who, to fulfill his wants, took away the youth of his own child? Well, why this divinity? Because that same Yayati realized, awoke, and made corrections. Mistakes can be made by anybody. The path which one might be treading could be wrong, but how many of us have the courage to correct our mistakes, to learn from our failures, to accept and change? Yayati had the courage. There is a very beautiful saying that goes, "Saw choohe khakar billi haj ko chali." That means, after eating 100 mice, this cat is going on a pilgrimage. What's the analogy? Well, if you take the 100 mice as 100 desires fulfilled, this cat, after wanting and filling her desires and indulging in all the sense pleasures, dropped it all and went on pilgrimage. So is this cat, right, good or bad? As such, there is no good or bad. But what the cat did was commendable. Do you think it is easy to drop desires? Do you think it is easy to drop wants? Do you think it is easy to live a simple life when you know you can afford to get a lot more than you are owning right now? It's very difficult. Temptations come in front of everybody. Desires dance and make everybody dance. But there are very few who, after having indulged and tasted the beauty of Maya, are able to get rid of her clutches. Like Yayati here was a king. He was the universal king. Yet, he could give away everything when he awoke to the fact that everything is useless. It is like a never-ending pit. And this is not why I was given my human birth. Yayati felt that if he had taken the youth of Puru, he should have made better use of his time. See, during old age, doing tapasya, sitting in an asan, doing jap, naam, it's very difficult. Going on pilgrimages, very difficult. All these things, even focusing, concentrating, very difficult. Because along with the body, the mind also becomes weak to learn new things. And the habits which we have ingrained in ourselves over the years become very strong. So when is the right time? The right time is now. Right now. No matter what age you are. Awaken to the fact that this race of desires will never end. See, we might win the rat race, it is said, right? But if you win the rat race, that does not make you any different from a rat. A rat remains a rat. Do you want to be a rat? And do you want to run this rat race? Yayati said, no, I don't want to. This human birth is precious. God has blessed me. Because of this curse, I overindulged and I realized that this is not what I want. I want to go and walk the path of the noble, the path of the sages, the path of the awakened. Serve humanity, serve everybody, give to the society and not take from it. And with this thought, he left. And Puru also had the same notion in him. He never held on to anything. He never even held on to his youth. So, when there is a lineage of this time who is able to make corrections, who benefits? The descendants. Yes, and this is the lineage where Sri Krishna was born, right? We are talking about the Chandravanshis. And in this lineage of Puru, there was a king called Dushyanta. Now, Dushyanta was a very, very generous king. Amazingly kind to his subjects. Always there. Never thought of himself. Even the minutest of problems in his kingdom he would handle himself. People felt as if they were in Ram Rajya. They felt as if this was nothing but the era of Ram. They were so happy. And Dushyant always made sure that he did not take from his citizens. He would give because that is what he had learned from his ancestors, Puru and so on. And it just so happened that there was some distress in one part of the country. There was distress, there were wild animals attacking, and people really needed help. So Dushyant, being Dushyant, decided to take matters into his own hands and went with a small army his priest and his ministers, and went hunting to destroy all the wild animals to free the people of that part of the country from their agony. Not only this, he thought while he is there, he could actually inspect what is happening. So he went, and he was very, very successful in his task. He met people. See, you cannot know what is going on in your country by sitting inside your house, right? In the same way, in order to feel somebody else's pain, you have to venture out. Just by sitting on a coffee table and discussing the problems that are happening around the world will not solve the problems. Not only will it not solve the problem, it's not even going to make you compassionate, because you will not be able to feel the situation. That first-hand feel of the situation. It is like you have to live it to know it. Walk in another's shoe, and then only will you know their pain and sorrow. Then only you have a right to say anything about them. But we prefer not to walk. From a distance, we'll watch the news, we'll see things, and we'll have a nice coffee shop discussion about everything. Nowadays, children have debates on the problems of the world. Now go and ask those children, how much have you spent time with the people you're talking about? That is the irony, isn't it? The irony is, everybody talks, but nobody knows. Everybody proposes a solution, but nobody knows the problem. And without knowing the problem, what kind of a solution will you come up with? Instead of talking and debating, instead of yapping away to glory, spend that hour, half hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes in a place where you can know the sorrow, probably in an orphanage. Go to an old age home during your holidays instead of going to Switzerland. Why don't you visit Somalia? Why not? Go to a remote village. See, the grassroots level problems are never visible when you're sitting at the top. And that is the irony of today's world. But Dushyant here, Puru here, Yayati here, all the kings we are talking about in Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran knew this. The management books can't teach us half of what our Shastras can teach us. So he went, and while he was in the hunt, he got detoured. Again, what came running? It was a deer. Now this deer is a fascinating animal, isn't it? Whenever a deer comes, some mishap is going to happen, isn't it? When Ramji chased the deer, Sita Ma was taken away. Now, what is going to happen to Dushyantji when he is chasing a deer is for us to find out. So Dushyant got attracted by this deer and he started following the deer. And while following the deer, he entered a part of the forest which he had never been to in his life. He was amazed. He said, I did not even know this place existed in my kingdom. He looked around. It was as if he had entered Amravati. It was heaven for him. He looked around and he saw. It was mesmerizing. In fact, it rendered him speechless. When he looked around, he saw waterfalls, flowers of all kinds blooming. He never even knew that these flowers existed. The fragrance of these flowers filled the air. The birds were chirping such beautiful melody that he had never heard of. He looked around. There was an environment of peace and tranquility. He just did not know what had happened. He felt as if he had just entered another lok. And then, when he looked at the priest who was with him, this priest said, this is the area of the hermitage of Kannav Rishi. Now, Kannav Rishi was a great sage. And always remember, your aura follows you. Your aura follows you. If your aura is pure, it fills the surrounding areas with purity. If your aura is agitated, it fills the surrounding areas with agitation. If you have hatred fill in your heart, the people around you will behave in that exact same manner. And you might say कि मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं बोला, but why did he snap back at me? You did not speak with your words or probably your actions, but your aura spoke volumes. There is a beautiful habit of these sages. These sages, if they are even the slightest bit agitated, because it is possible for them to get agitated, they cocoon themselves in their own homes and their rooms. They don't step out because they think it is a sin. Why? Because when they move out with the baggage of agitation which they are carrying in their aura, they are going to spread agony and sorrow and restlessness around. They don't want that. So they stay back. They hold on. They get connected to the Lord. Figure out what is causing this turmoil. And when everything is calm and quiet and smooth again, that is when they go and mingle with this world. But don't we do the exact opposite? When we are agonized, when we are in sorrow, when we are actually in the worst of our moods, we go around rattling people's door and talking about the exact same thing that is disturbing us. In that process, we are throwing that ripple effect and creating negativity all around us. And that is what we see nowadays. That is exactly what we see. One person's agitation, it is like pretty contagious. It leads to agitation all around. Don't do this. When agitated, when disturbed, when agonized, connect to the Lord. He is the ocean of peace and love. Take a dip in Him. Take a dip in Him and feel the peace. Talk to that one divine Lord which is within you. And this divine Lord will give you all the answers. The answers are all within us. They are nowhere else. Totally in us. We go around seeking help, expecting that somebody is going to calm us down. Nahi hoga. Nobody can. Because what can an agitated person give to another agitated person? Only restlessness. So this aura of Kannav Rishi, which was all around his hermitage, was mesmerizing the king Dushyant. And he realized that he could not leave this beautiful, mesmerizing hermitage without meeting Kannav Rishi. And that was the norm. When you are in a place where there is a great sage, it is your duty, it is our duty to go and pay our respects and take blessings. Learn 2-3 things from them. And in those days, sages were very important. They were a prominent part of helping the kings rule their kingdom. And over here, Dushyant did just this. He went, and what did he do? He asked all the army and everybody to stay behind. He said, you all stay behind. We cannot enter the hermitage with weapons, with army, with the animals. Not only this, the other thing that Dushyant did is he himself changed from his kingly robes, his fine robes, into simple clothes. He took away the excess jewelry, he put down his weapons, he removed his shoes, and with a simple attire, he went to meet the sage. How beautiful is this? Every bit of our scriptures teaches so much. When we are going to meet somebody to pay our respect, what should we carry with us? Humility. Yes, be down to earth. It does not matter whether that person is senior to you or junior to you. Why do you want to show off? See, everything that is on us is not needed. It can be removed. But what is in us, that saralta, that is what we should carry. That is what we should wear. And that is what Dushyant wore. See, simple thing like standing up to greet an elderly, standing up when somebody walks into your house, doing a namaste when you pick up the phone. These basic things are missing in our new generation. We have totally forgotten what this kind of a behavior is. And Dushyant, being the king of the entire earth, remembered. And he walked into the hermitage with only his priest. And when they entered, the hermitage was empty. Dushyant called out once or twice. He called out again and again, but nobody answered. And he raised his voice a bit so that he could be heard. At that time, a beautiful lady peeped out. She came as if it was the spark of a lightning that had come out. And Dushyant, when he looked at her, he totally fell for her. And he was amazed. He said, this cannot be possible. She is dressed as a Brahmin. My heart cannot in no way make a mistake and look at a Brahmin woman in these ways in which I am looking at her. There is not possible. He was so confident about his character, about his upbringing. He said, I belong to such a divine lineage. Even in my dreams, I cannot make a mistake. Even in my dreams, I cannot behave in an inappropriate manner. And he asked her, who are you? You are living in this hermitage. You are dressed as a Brahmin woman, but my heart says you're not. Am I mistaken? My heart, my mind cannot make a mistake. Please tell me, who are you? Now she said, I am the daughter of Kannav Rishi. Now again Dushyant said, you are the daughter of Kannav Rishi, you say, but please tell me exactly who are you? And now this girl called Shakuntala smiled. She said, you are right, my dear king. I am a Kshatriya by birth. I am the daughter of Vishwamitra and Menaka. I was raised by Kannav Rishi. For all practical purposes, he is my father. I consider him my father. But yes, Vishwamitra and Menaka gave birth to me. But when Vishwamitra realized that Menaka was sent by Indra to deceive him and ruin his tapasya, he dropped everything and left. And Menaka did not want to take care of me. So she left me in the jungle and went back to Amravati. I was left at the mercy of the birds. And these Shakuntal birds, these can be called as the Indian vulture or the blue jay. They are basically birds. The birds felt pity and they started taking care of me. They shielded me from the sun with their feathered wings. They shielded me from the rains. They shielded me from the harsh weathers. They shielded me from the winds. They started taking care of me. They were so compassionate. Hence my name is Shakuntala, because I was taken care of by these birds. And it just so happened, when time went by, Kannav Rishi was passing and he saw me, and these birds approached him. The birds told him everything and they said, can you please take this beautiful child, this little baby girl, as your own and raise her? Kannav Rishi took me to his hermitage and he raised me as a father. I am the daughter of Kannav Rishi, and I am very thankful to the birds who took care of me in my initial days. See, animals, birds, plants, everything has compassion. Everything can sense. Why don't we see it? Why don't we see anything of the sort? Feelings, emotions, love, is not only a part of the human race. Everything around us feels, everything around us gives, everything around us cares. And we need to be as sensitive as possible to things around us. It is needed. It is very important. And Shakuntala, being raised by these feathered creatures, being raised by the sages, was full of compassion and love. Tender in her heart, totally human in her existence. Why human? Because humans are supposed to be a total walking and talking existence of love. And this is what was attracting Dushyant. And when he heard the entire thing, he told her that in Kshatriyas, a girl can choose her mate. Please choose me as your husband. This is known as Gandharva Vivaha. Kanna Vrishi won't mind. Please. And Shakuntala obliged. They got married because the priest was there, but she was very particular about following all the rituals, all the steps that were needed for a proper wedding. Because she said that each and every step, each and every mantra was very essential for the marriage, for their happiness, and for later on when the children were born. And after they got married, Dushyant stayed there for a while and he departed. He departed, and after a while, Kanna Vrishi came. And somewhere, Shakuntala was a bit upset. She thought that she had made a mistake maybe by not talking to her father before getting married. But then, in those days, Gandharva Vivaha was very much accepted. So when Kanna Vrishi saw her, through his drishti, he had this vision where he could see the past, the future. Through that vision, he saw what had happened and he smiled. He said, "My dear child, all these days I was getting really worried as to how will I find a suitable match for you. And King Dushyant is no less of a king. He is the best possible match, and I'm very glad that you married him." Days went by, and Dushyant had promised her that he would come back for her. However, he did not. Actually, King Dushyant got a little worried, thinking that Kanna Vrishi would curse him. And the sages had very powerful curses, we have seen, right? So he was so worried that because of the fear, he did not return. And then weeks went by, weeks became months. Over here, Shakuntala was going to become the mother of King Dushyant's child. A week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 years went by. Now this child stayed in her womb for 3 years, yet King Dushyant did not come. And then the child was born. Kanna Vrishi raised him. He did all the needed rituals. He taught him all the Veds and the Purans. He taught him all the Shastra and the Astra Vidya. He taught him everything that has to be known. In those days, the knowledge of Veds, the knowledge of Purans, the knowledge of Shrutis was considered very important. Today, we focus only on the material knowledge, isn't it? Everything else is secondary. Why? Because material knowledge is needed for money. But ask yourselves, is money the only thing? Does money and these material things go with us? None of these do. What goes with us is our sanskars, our good deeds. Have we been able to live a life which is righteous? And if not, what happens is something that I don't even have to mention. And to know if you're living a right life at a young age, we need to know and gain the knowledge of the scriptures, the knowledge of Gita, These are the manuals of human existence, the manuals of human birth. We have taken this human birth, this precious body of ours, and we don't even know how to use it. As always it is said, make a spiritual base. Let a spiritual base, let the divine spiritual base, that godly base be the foundation of your existence, and then live your material world accordingly. See, dharma, arth, kam and moksha. All four are needed. Our scriptures don't refute any. But without dharma, the knowledge of dharma, without the knowledge of my Satchid Anand Swaroop, I will fail in arth, that is money in the sense how to earn it and how to spend it. I will have wrong desires, that is kam. And how will I get moksha then? That is liberation, because I will always be bound. So over here, this child was taught everything. And the unique thing about this child is, from the very beginning, he had this habit of fighting with lions. He would go to their den, pull out the lions and have a battle with his bare hands. Even the lions would get scared and run away. The biggest of animals. He knew no fear. And because he knew no fear, he could never be defeated, Kannav Rishi called the son of Shakuntala and Dushyant Sarva Daman, who could defeat anybody. Everything could be defeated by him. But there was a sorrow in Shakuntala's heart. She said, so many years have gone by. My child is now 12 years old, yet my husband did not come to take me. And Kannav Rishi could sense it. And he said, it is time that you go to the kingdom and remind him of your wedding and get your child the rights that he deserves. She was the first wife, and Sarvadaman over here was to be crowned the Yuvraj, the king later. Shakuntala and Sarvadaman both did not want to leave Kannav Rishi. But that is where they had to go, and Kannav Rishi convinced them and sent some of his disciples with Shakuntala till the city. They reached the city gate. Shakuntala was a bit afraid, anxious, really looking forward to meet her husband, but she did not know after so many years would he recognize her or not. Over here, Sarvadaman had never seen the city. Even Shakuntala was raised in the jungles. And all the sages that had accompanied her, they said that now we have reached the city gates. We cannot go any further. She said, no, please come with me. I cannot go ahead alone. I am scared. They said, no, but we are saints. We have given up everything. We have decided never to enter the city and the people of these kinds ever again. When we have renounced everything, this is where our journey leaves us. So you go ahead and let us go back. Just go straight. There is the palace. You will find your way, Shakuntala. You are a smart girl. And then Sarvadaman is with you, so you don't have to worry. She held Sarvadaman's hand, her dear child's hand, and she kept looking at the sages till they disappeared in the jungle. That was her last connect with the sage, the hermitage. They left. She was shivering, she was scared, and gradually she entered the kingdom. She entered the court and she saw her husband, Raja Dushyant. And then she looked at her son and realized they looked so alike. Both had physiques like lions, eyes like lotuses, long arms, strong, and yes, humility on both their faces. She wondered then, why did he not come to take me back? And she slowly went ahead in the court and said, Rajan, I have come to let you meet your son. I've got your son. Here is your son, our son. And Dushyant was taken aback. It had been many years. And he actually looked as if he did not recognize her. He did not recognize her. And he said, who? My son? Who are you? She was like, "You do not know me?" And she felt so sad. She thought to herself, "Man commits sins in secret and tells himself, 'I am safe.' You are lying. Don't you know that you are sinning?" "No, no," he said, "Dushyant, I don't know you. I don't know this boy. Whoever you are, please go away. I don't have a son." Now Shakuntala was broken. She said, "How can you not recognize me? Why are you lying in front of all these people? And you think that your lie would not be caught?" We have to always remember, whatever we are saying is always heard by whom? The witness who is sitting within us. The witness, the Lord, the God. Nothing can be hidden by Him. We feel that even after we are lying, when nobody is watching us, we feel that we are safe. No one knows. Nobody knows what I have done, and I will not be found out. This is what we feel when we are lying, isn't it? It could be the smallest of lie or the biggest of lie. And remember, lying becomes a habit. Don't lie. जो है वो है. सत्य बोलो और असत्य मत बोलो. And if there is a situation where you cannot say anything, you cannot say the truth, be quiet. But don't take refuge in lies. That is what. But do you know who all are watching when we are lying? The devas in the heaven, the earth, Yam, all are watching. Don't you think there are devas? Everybody is watching. Yamdev, Dharmraj, he is watching. The bhoots are watching. The sun and the moon and the fire are watching. Vayu is watching. The day and the night are watching. Even our righteousness is watching. We have righteousness inside us. Each and every one of us. Yes, even the worst of people have righteousness within them. They have that shariri, that Atman in them, that conscious which is there inside them, knows that you're lying, knows that you're doing something wrong. We have to know that no matter what, we are not alone. We are being watched. And maybe the people around us won't know. But प्रभु सब जानते हैं. ठाकुर जी से कुछ नहीं छुपा है. And who are we cheating? We are deceiving ourselves by lying. Many a times we conveniently lie to ourselves also. We put so many faces that we don't even know what our true self is. Why are we so scared to be ourselves? Why are we so scared to say what we feel and what we think? Why are we so scared to tell the truth? Why? We should not deceive ourselves. We should not deceive anybody else. Honesty, satya, is very essential. Even if we don't know the Vedas, even if we don't know the Shastras, even if we don't know Gita, if we know satya, we know everything. If we are honest, we are just, we are righteous, it is enough. Because all these scriptures are trying to awaken us to our true self, which is Sat, Chit, Anand, truth, existence, bliss, or truth, everlasting peace. That we are. Trying to remove the layers. And if we are that, if we are established in righteousness, truth, compassion, then nothing else is needed. Always remember, the scriptures are not the end. They are means to the end. The rituals are not the end. They are means to the end. What is the end? The end is realizing our Satchit Anand Swaroop. Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. I am that and that is me. That is why. Why do we emphasize? Keep reading the scriptures. Keep praying to the Lord. Because when you keep looking at the Lord, when you keep thinking about Him, when you keep thinking about His feet, when you keep thinking about His Leela, it becomes an integral part of you. And when it becomes an integral part of you, you become like him. That is, we become like him. We become what we think of. We become what we read. We become what we are with all the time. That is why we say, keep the company of sages. Keep the company of truthful people. Keep the thought of God in your mind. Keep the scriptures in your hand. Have your mala in your hand so that this untruth does not come out. So far we have talked about two things. When we are talking about Puru and Yayati, we realize that wants and Trishna never end. Right? And now when we are talking about Dushyant and Shakuntala, we have realized that along with that never-ending pit, there is one thing we can hold on to, and that is Satya. Don't lie. Don't deny. And when we hold on to truth, everything else falls in place. Ask yourself, do I actually need this? Ask yourself, do I actually want this? Ask yourself, am I depriving somebody when I gain this extra thing for myself? Ask and be honest. Honest to yourself. Listen to what your heart says. Because what comes from the heart goes to the heart. And what your heart says, what comes from within can never be wrong. But you have to have the courage to listen and accept it. The righteousness within us speaks. But are we willing to listen? And if we are listening, are we willing to implement it in our life is the question. So over here, Shakuntala is constantly rebuking Dushyant. Then she tells him the entire story. But Dushyant's voice becomes impatient and very harsh. He said, I do not know the both of you. Just move and go away. And Shakuntala is so upset. Now she's not timid anymore because she has to get the rights of her child. She is angry. She says, what you're doing is wrong. But any which way, she cannot take this anymore. And she's past that caring and loving stage and she is walking away. Her sorrow has been converted into anger. And while she is about to leave, while she is just turning around, the voice from the heavens, there is an Akashvani. And from that they said, this is your child. This is your wife. Don't disown them. He is going to become the king. He is the strongest and he is the one who is going to inherit this throne and he's going to become a Chakravarti Samrat. The world, the universe, the Devas, everybody needs him. The minute this Akashvani happened, Dushyant left his throne as if he was waiting for somebody to tell him, get up and move. And he ran towards Shakuntala. He said, Shakuntala, I'm so sorry for being harsh, but people, they need proof. If I would have accepted you to be my wife and him being my son, they would have questioned the authenticity and yet they would have not accepted you and they would have dishonored you as a queen and have questioned him as my son. And now that the heavens have spoken, they have all listened, they will never question. And hence I can accept you now. Please forgive me. Not for a moment had I forgotten you, but I could not gather the courage to come and face Kanav Rishi. Please forgive me, my queen. And he hugged Sarva Daman, his own son. And he crowned him. He said he will be the future king and he was known as Bharat or Bharat, after whom our country was named. He was a great king. He helped the Devas. He helped the other loks, the Patal loks. He ruled diligently. After all, he was not only the son of Shakuntala and Dushyant, he was raised by a sage. All the sanskars were given by a sage. There was kind of a spark, a light of Hari in Bharat. Now we have understood, isn't it? That truth cannot be hidden. There can be a delay, right? Always lie moves faster than the truth. lie can momentarily actually kind of, we might say, defeat the truth, but not always, not forever. Truth emerges powerful. And always remember, speaking the truth is as great as learning all the Vedas and bathing in all the holy rivers. There is no dharma that is greater than truth, and no sin which is worse than speaking a lie. And this is something that we need to imbibe in us. This is something that we need to understand and implement in our life. Get rid of Trishna, desires and wants, and immerse in truth. Mansa vacha karmana. What you think is what you say, and what you say is what you do. And there is great power in this alignment. People talk about chakra alignment and kriya and this and that to align your chakra, and the yoga and hatha yoga to uplift yourself. सब छोड़ दो. इतनी मेहनत क्यों करनी है? सत्य बोलो. Speak the truth. Have the courage. Cleanse your mind. Think good so that you can speak about what you're thinking and you can do what you're saying. This alignment is so powerful. Kundalini can be awakened. Keep thinking of the Lord. Always have His face in front of you. Always have His feet in front of you. Always think about His leelas. All that He has done. Every action of the Lord is worth learning from. The more we think about the Lord, and in Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran, the more we think about the devotees of the Lord and how they behaved, we will start reflecting it. We will start acting like that. Automatically, without our knowing, all the pretense will drop. All the muck will clear. And what will remain is that beautiful, amazing, pure and pious soul that I am. This requires effort. What Shakuntala and Puru went through. Yet, they did not give up the right path. Dushyant knew, yet he did not give up the right path. It is not easy to follow the path, but once you're on the path and you keep walking, sooner or later you will witness the change within. You will know. You will know. As I say, right? तेरी कर्म कहानी आत्मा भी जाने परमात्मा भी जाने. What is unfolding in your life, you will know, the Lord will know, and yourself, your Atman will know. Nobody else needs to know. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। जय बोलो हनुमान की। जय बोलो हनुमान की। बोलो बजरंग बली की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान।